It's the same power to weight ratio as a Ferrari 488.
Where's mine?
Is Chiro Champion signing off. You've been tuned in to
One.
We're
What?
live. Hello.
What?
We're
Are you serious? Are you serious? How we doing, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday night. And those of you that saw me half an hour ago at the Sharnbrook, our ambassadors for our network evening, welcome. I made it. Sat down 5 minutes ago. Sam, how's your day been? Sam, how's your day been?
Yeah, an amazing day. I pulled a gig where we're building a Fast and the Furious car for a TV show. And my deadline went from the 25th, which was a Monday, to the 19th. So I have to get a car painted, modified, and ready to go 6 days quicker. So I'm now working pretty much 18 hours a day to get it. So it's good.
You've gone back to building, have you?
Well, I'm still running the car sales and I'm delegating. When I say I'm building, I'm saying, excuse me, can you build this and can you paint that? And I want it this way. So basically, that's how it's working. I'm pointing and hoping for the best. Hopefully, it turns out all right.
Can we know what car it is?
It is a 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
Oh, you're doing it.
Well, I am doing it, but I've had to change things slightly because we're going to be replicating another car from the movie, which is a 67 Camaro, which is silver and black. So we're painting it silver and black for this TV episode that we're filming on the 19th. But then afterwards, we're going to paint it beige and do it like the Tokyo Drift car. So I have basically, yeah, things are going pretty well, to be honest, mate.
Cool. Well, this weekend, let's talk about that quickly. You were there Saturday night at the Cannon Run, filming for Spotting Supercars London TV, and we caught up and we bumped into a few faces and friends, and some people have got some amazing memories of that as well from the weekend. How was it for you?
It was amazing. I got to sit down with that lovely man from Be Cool, who is now Petrolheadonism Automotive, and you know what? That is what an amazing person. Not just for me to talk to, but for you to be in business with. I mean, he's got his head on the right way. Had a lovely chat, and I lost the track of time. To be fair, I had a few lemonades, as you do. We're filming for a TV show here, guys. You got to look like you're having a good time. I was having a good time, and the lemonade did get involved. But we got chatting. Turns out he was a very, very big fan of Ed Bolian. And I don't think he realised that I was friends with Ed. So I just FaceTimed him, and he pretty much had a baby right next to me. It was amazing.
No, he was talking about it all day Sunday. He was showing people like screenshots and everything that Dave Fry of Be Cool Air Conditioning and now of Petrolheadonism Performance and Motorsport. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a minute because I'm very excited because we just launched it. But yeah, he got to speak to Ed Bolian, one of his all-time automotive heroes, and you made that happen. What an evening though, because you went. Zach was there. You saw Jay Cannon. You met Mist and Dean Harvey introduced you to Mist, and then Mist was listening to you. You were vibing with him and stuff. It was amazing.
You know what, mate? I think that I've grown up quite a lot. My life has changed over the last few years, and I feel like I'm a different person. I feel like I've calmed down a lot, and I can really relate to these people. These people work so hard every day for whether they're a musician, they're a business owner, they're a CEO, they're you run the biggest Cannon Run in the UK. These people at the utmost respect for Jay, all these people, yourself, everyone that works hard. And I think when you're around these people that work just as hard as you do, same with you, Chiro, you just vibe. It's so simple. People understand that you've worked for what you've got, and you're in that room of people in the same class. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or you live in a council house. At the end of the day, you've worked hard for what you've got, and you're there to prove it. You know.
Well, one of my most humbling moments of the weekend was not when the Cayman GT4 died. It was more when this guy with an M5, and he might even be watching. Really, really nice guy was talking to me Friday night, and he was like, I came on this Cannon run, never been before, and I watched you guys on Instagram. I just didn't think you'd want to talk to me. I was like, why would I want to talk to you? Because I'm just a brickie. I was like, so what? You're a car guy. You love cars. You've got that one passion that we all share and love, and it brings us together.
It's just amazing, you know, like we together, like with Petrolheadonism Live, Hard Up Garage, Cannon Run, everyone here has got their own little piece of the pie, you know, and it comes to the point where we've delivered something, right? This channel that we're doing every Wednesday, that it doesn't matter if you're a bricklayer or you work at Bentley, you know, if you're a car guy, come and get involved, enjoy. But there was one thing that happened on Saturday night, which was very humbling for me too, Mr. Chiro.
All right.
You told me that you supplied the best pizzas both sides of Bovington Tank Museum. Am I not right?
Yeah.
Okay, but your
You
daughter
can't say this on air. You can't say this on air.
Oh, your daughter was enjoying the food that the pizza supplied, the food that the hotel supplied. Yeah. I'm going to hide now because I can't carry on with my story.
No, you can't tell that story. Yeah, I've had a couple of people tell it tonight already, and it's embarrassing. So, right.
You know what, man? Life happens. Life happens.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Carlo, defo not. Are we going pizza wars now, Carlo? Right. So tonight we've got a very special guest. My guest tonight is going to be DJ Richie Don, and I think he's got something really exciting lined up for us. And your guest is?
My guest is Rob Pitts, and if you don't know Rob Pitts, he is one of my good friends. I got him over here for the Speedfest, the Brands Hatch Speedfest. He is one of the biggest personalities you're ever going to meet in your life. And when you get off this YouTube tonight, every hair on your body is gonna stand up being like, when do we get to meet him? Because he is the coolest guy ever.
Wicked. Where's he based?
He is based in Greenville, Texas, which is
sick.
near South Carolina.
Wicked. We're going.
We're
Texas.
going. We're going to. He's like just outside of Atlanta, so we're going to have to go party with him like a rock star before SEMA.
November's going to be amazing. November is going to be amazing. We're going to be bringing this show live from SEMA in November. Going to be pretty epic, and making big plans for that. So, Petrolheadonism Performance and Motorsport, that was launched tonight. That's Be Cool Performance, moving to new premises and rebranding under license to Petrolheadonism Performance and Motorsport. So you'll see that coming up on our story quite a bit. Petrolheadonism Live at Nebworth with Richard Rawlins coming over, the gas monkey himself, coming over to the event. Sam is the compere on the stage, and we're going to have some wicked, crazy fun with that event. 2-day event, concert-style car show. It's going to be epic. Petrolheadonism Live, tickets are live, clubs are booking up tickets. We've got one club has already booked 68 cars in the first 2 days. Wow. Unreal.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been so excited about a car show in my life. You know, SEMA I've done. I've done SEMA, I've done Mecum, I've done Pate Swap Me. I've done car shows like you never believe. But I haven't done Petrolheadonism Live. And I'll tell you what, we're going to do it. I'm going to wear a tweed suit, all right? I'm going to have it large. I might have a hoodie underneath, but I'm going to wear a tweed suit. But I'm so excited. You know, we spoke to Chris a couple of weeks ago. He's a good guest. He's an amazing guest, an amazing friend a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just to hang out with those guys for a couple of days and, you know, just have some fun is going to be amazing.
Cool. So, Mr. Producer Man, is DJ Richie Don in the lobby, ready to come in? If he is, let's get him in.
Bring him in.
He's just coming in.
Here we go. He's
1 2 1 2. Hang on. Let's do a quick check.
Check. Woo! Here we go.
Right, can you hear me first of all? Check. 1 2.
Can hear you. We can hear you.
Right, 1 second. Here we go.
Oh!
Hey! Come on. We ain't messing around. We ain't messing around.
The amount of
Oh
times
my-
I've watched you during lockdown, you like, we're gonna
Bada
have
boom,
a real
bada bing.
session.
It's like we're right at home,
Right.
yeah?
Blows my mind. Blows
How-
my mind.
How are you guys? Are you well?
I don't know. I've gone cold all over. This is unbelievable.
I'm sweating, man. I'm sweating. I've literally just run in the door. I was like, please work first time. Please work first time.
Literally, I walked in the door at 5 to 9, like set up. Normally, we're about live an hour for like testing and stuff, but so far, touch wood, all good. Mate, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. I can't grumble at all, to be fair. Yeah, the gyms are back open. We're slowly starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So thank the Lord, as long as it all continues in that direction. Yeah, very well, very well. Cannot grumble at all.
So last time we saw each other in the flesh was literally 4 days before lockdown 2, and we pulled off a wicked car show with Cream Developments.
Yeah,
at
that
the
was
hotel.
a big one, man. Big up Cream, big up Cash, and all the crew, man.
Exactly.
That was a good one. Big up Shabs.
And that was on TV for their show and everything, and you smashed it.
Lost all my audio, guys.
I can hear
I'm
you.
nearly here. It's all
I
right.
can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. He's going to make his way down to his summer house where he's got his office. And we made a big announcement this week, Max Power Reunion, the reunion show, celebrating the Max Power era, and you are a legend of that era.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
But you've matured over the years.
I think so. Yeah, I didn't think we had a choice on that one, but yeah, I'm like Peter Pan, just very young at heart, and I refrain to reluctantly
grow.
grow.
Better than what you were.
Ah, you're too kind. You're too kind. The host of the most, or what?
What he's trying to say is he's got a dog called Nana. That's what it is, isn't it?
But so we've moved the event to Toaster. We're going bigger.
Yes.
We're waiting on confirmation because they're building a stage there for the summer events they've got, and we're hoping that stage is going to still be there because then we can go concert style with Max Power Reunion. We've also confirmed we've found Jamie Shaw with his Renault 5 GT.
We have, yeah. Spoke to him just to the day.
So, give me 3 of your best memories about the Max Power era, like Max Power Lives, that whole scene. Take people back because Sam's too young to remember it.
Oh, come on. I had my Saxo VTR lookalike with me neon glow rings.
Yeah, that's all. It was all about them neons. Well, basically, I'll very, very quick story. I'll tell you how Jamie and I met. So we were both cruising down good old Southend seafront. So for those that are into the modified scene, will definitely know about what used to be an incredible seafront at Southend, where it was carnage. Fridays and Saturdays, it was roadblock. Thousands upon thousands of cars, tens of thousands on the odd occasion, hundreds of thousands of people just all rolling around enjoying the scene. Then it kind of was always a bit leery. You'd always get a few sapphire cozzies hanging it, spinning it about and doing things that might be seen as unsuitable. So they eventually pedestrianised a lot of it, put in a lot of speed bumps, changed the way one of the roundabouts the curves were operated, so you couldn't really just continue doing a loop like it used to be. It was great. And I remember Jamie come down in his Renault 5, and I poked my head in the window. I went, bruv, your car is wicked, because it was, and it still is to this day, wicked car. I went, here you go, man, there's a couple of CDs to take home with you, as you do old Del Boy and Rodney Starr. Go on, man, have a little listen to them. Anyway, about 2 days later, phone rings. Is that Richie? What's that? It's Jamie. All right, Jamie, how you doing? Yeah, man, the CDs, I really enjoyed them. Do you want to come and DJ at one of the shows I'm doing? I was like, yeah, definitely, man. I've done a few bits at the pod and a few other shows. What is it? It's Max Power at the NEC. So anyway, went to the NEC, and I think this was 2001. Wow. And one of the first ones was probably one of the best ones, because it was a real eye opener into the size, the passion of the scene, how strong people really felt about it. And and back then we are going back a couple of decades. I know I'm just edging to 30 now, so it's incredible that I've been around this long. But the scene back then was quite a bit different to it is now. I think it was pretty much the start of the mobile phone era. We are all going way back, so there was a lot less pressure on the social media side of it. It was really about living in the moment at the time, and I can categorically say with my hand on my heart that everyone did indeed live in the moment. It was a great time to be alive. The first one, was a great one. We unveiled the TVR. That was another good one. We unveiled the white Porsche. We had obviously the Renault 5, all of them. And these are the days when, Jordan and Jackie Degg, I mean, obviously, you know, legends in the scene now and back then, but this is when you could go up to Katie, say hello, she'd be sitting on the bonnet of your car. She would ask to come and sit on the car, you know, whereas now, I'm guessing, you know, Katie, if you're watching, you probably wouldn't want to sit on a car for less than 30 grand. I don't know, you know. So back in the day, it was a completely different experience. So we had some great after parties with Fuel. They were always a lot of fun. Oh, one of the good ones was in the Hilton Hotel. Yeah, it was raucous. It was just a different time, but they were never a dull moment. Is probably how I would describe the Max Power shows. They were never ever a dull moment. Everyone came together. It was a real form of unity. Yes, everyone partied hard, but it was the annual showcase of what you've been working on year on year on year, you know. So we've done this, we've built this, we've created that, we've invented this. So everyone came together and accumulated all their hard work, so that by the time they'd exhibited their hard work, they were like, right, let's have a bit of a shindig. So yeah, the parties would go on into the night, they'd carry on after and into the next day. So it was always they were always hectic times, but they were really, really special times. They really, really were. I know everyone goes on about, you know, the Max Power era, and it was, you know, everyone done a smash and grab through Halfords, and you know, it was the neons, it was the neon gear stick, it was the neon undercar, it was the real pre-Fast and Furious stuff that now we probably think that's a bit tacky, but it was just great fun, you know, and that was what the shows were all about. And I think the shows today, I think they are good fun. Do I think they're the same level of fun? I don't know. Maybe, like you say, I've matured a bit, some attitudes changed, but it was a great time to be involved in what was a great scene. And I would call it a great era. It was, you know, the Max Power era, you know, obviously Redline, Fast Car, all the other magazines. It was all a great competition when paperback sales were so high. So it really was a competition of who could write the funniest content, who could be the riskiest. But some of the stuff that the boys printed now, you couldn't do. You couldn't do it now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Millsy, Dan Anslow, all the boys. They know who they are. Guesty, you know, you could not do that today. You would just get sued. You just get sued. You just have law case after law case.
I've seen some of the content. Yeah, so Mark Smith obviously set up the reunion, Max Power reunion fanboy page, and literally that happened because his son said, "Dad, you'll never set up a Instagram page that gets more than 200 followers." Or
I heard.
Next thing, he sets up Max Power reunion page, 20,000 followers within like 6 months, and he's smashing it. But he's got all the old magazines. He's showing all the old builds and stuff. These cars, though, 20 years on now, they're like so cool.
I know.
Like you see Charisma Renault 5 or the TVR, it's so cool. People aren't building them like that anymore because I think you'd be too embarrassed to build them today. And like say, look what I've built. But you get one of those old ones now, unbelievable. Yeah.
No, it was you know, the level of the build was still extremely high. There were many key players. I mean, I obviously have fond memories of Charisma because that was the team that we were at the time. There were some great other builders at the time. You know, I won't name them all because if I name one, you know, another one's going to get upset. You never know. But there was some great quality work, and you know, you're still getting the great quality work today. I just don't think. I think the level of detail today is just a bit watered down. It's all, you know, the scene is kind of like, it's big rims, airbags, you know, cars that you might not own, you know, or you haven't worked to earn that car. So what I'm trying to say is when back then, everyone worked hard to get what they did. So when they did it, they were really proud of it. They went the extra mile. And I find that what I hear, rumblings on the scenes, not necessarily my opinions, but people just say, you know, cars are on finance. They don't really own them. And they just, you know, they put airbags on them and big wheels, which is still cool. I mean, I'm not going to hate airbags and big wheels. I'm a big fan, to be fair. I wouldn't mind getting a set on mine. But, you know, at the end of the day, the interiors were rebuilt from, you know, stitch by stitch, panel by panel. They were painstakingly handcrafted. And I find that now you don't necessarily get that. Nice. So maybe that's why I'm a bit, you know, I look through the past era with rose-tinted glasses because it was just, everything was unique. It was bespoke. And you're damn right. Some of the stuff we look at nowadays and we're just like, how would you ever drive that down the road? How would you ever say you own that? How would you be proud to own that? But back then, the kids that owned them cars or the men that owned them cars were extremely passionate. And that's why I think it was such a great time, because the passion drove everything. You know, the money side of it, the social status side of it, how many likes you had on a picture. All of that was completely irrelevant which is a beautiful is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It was all about the passion. So yeah, that's why I think it was just such a great time. It really was a great time.
I mean, for me, like the fast show, that kind of thing, like there was no limit to what 10 litres of filler and an amp you bought off of free ads, like what you could do, you know. And I had a Mark IV Escort convertible with an RS turbo body kit on it, and you know, basically I had the gearbox out. I was 15 years old, right? And I had it open in the garage, and every single Saturday I'd open the bonnet and I put some more filler on my door panels to try and make something out of it. But because of like the Haynes magazine, where like you used to have Max Power Haynes manuals, right, with a saxo, and for me there was no limitation to what I could do with a couple of McDonald's parking trays in Lidl's car park and 10 litres of filler. Do you know what I mean?
Damn right. God bless them drifting days. Yeah, McDonald's car parks have got a lot of curved alloys to behold. But yeah, you know, I think the mindset then was it wasn't bought, it was built. If you wanted something, you had a vision, like you say, you would go out, you would look at your car, you'd sit down and go, I want wider arches, you know what I mean? I want a deeper dish. I want bigger bonnet vents. All, you know, all simple stuff that you could nowadays just go, you know, you can get a bite off eBay, you know, wherever you want. You know, back then we were probably trawling through paper magazines, do you know what I mean? Looking for an RS bonnet with vents, you know, and a ridiculous price. It was just, if you wanted it back then, you saved up, you went and built it, and when you'd finished it, you would stand around it in hot and cold weather, in sunshine and rain, and just point at your car and go, I did this. And anyone would go up, and the conversation starters were just a no-brainer. People would just come up, and you all had the passion for cars. And that's what I think is really, really great. I think I love the scene today. It's just evolved into a different scene. So I think, you know, without wanting to sound old, back then you lived in it. Back now you kind of everyone goes and reports to the scene, which I think is great for people for those people that can't get to the scene. They now can watch it through the eyes of their friend or their favorite channel or their YouTube, you know, their favorite YouTube person. They can watch the scene through them, which I do think is an incredible thing. But back then, I think you would be more prone to do more miles. You'd go to more shows, because if you didn't go, you would simply miss it. And you were a part of it.
Don't you think back then there were less shows as well? Because I've been doing shows for 14 years, and in the 14 years I've seen so many more grow, and so many more shows, but for different categories and everything else. But back then, I know there was bug jams and there was like different, but was it as busy as it is now?
I think, to be honest, the age old quality not quantity is very true. I think you're right. Back then there were less shows that more people attended, which is maybe why now there are more shows that less people attend. I'm not sure. I think there's still a market for the big shows. You know, I do see a lot of big moves being made this year, which is nice, because everyone has been on no pun intended, they've all been parked up for a year and a half waiting for the show. So everyone that's missed out on whether it's the social aspect, the enjoyment, or lastly the income of it, they now want to put on more shows. I think there is a risk with that. I think if you're just going to flood the market with loads and loads of shows, you know, you can't go to, well, you can. You can't go to 4 shows on the same day. You know what I mean? You might be able to do 2, one in the morning, drive down the road, there's another one in the afternoon. That's achievable. But, you know, you can't be in 4 places on one day. So you have to now pick and choose and cherry pick which ones you want to go to. Yeah. So I think the bigger ones will still stay strong as long as they maintain the correct elements of the show. And I think the up-and-comers have got every chance of being future superstar shows, because if they're putting on completely different things to what the existing shows are doing, they might have the right concepts that are going to go, you know, years 1, 3 to 5, that are going to be the future of car shows. Because I think where a lot of venues have just gone, right, we'll put on loads and loads of cars, loads and loads of car shows, I think people then just run the risk of going, it's a bit same old. And I think, to be honest, that might have been where it went pre-COVID. People were just getting a little bit kind of not tired of the scene, maybe just a bit reluctant to go to the same place, which I think is a shame, you know. And I think now is a great time where we get this opportunity to reset and kind of put new shows at the forefront. The old shows that are still the firm favourites, keep them, but make sure you invest in the shows as opposed to trying to milk that cash cow, if that makes any sense. Because I find a lot of people, if people just want to do the I think if people just want to do the shows for money, I think that's a shame, because you will get probably the first bite of the cherry where it could be a good opportunity to make some cash. But I think if you want to put on a show, you need to think longevity, because you are going to be building a community that could potentially follow you whatever your venue is. The venue isn't necessarily, well, like the Max Power reunion, it's changed venue due to demand. Okay, so take your hat off and bow. A great accolade to have. So if you're in that position, and everyone that was going to go to venue 1 goes, well, we want to go venue 2, that just goes to show you don't need to, it doesn't have to be at place X, at place Y, at place Z. You can move around with the car shows, and your community that you build will follow you, which I think just goes back to the sort of passion side of things. If you can tap into the right attitude of the punters, that they build it and they will follow, but you have to build it right and build it for the right reasons. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, with me, with the car shows and stuff, it's always been at the hotel. And this year there's been an opportunity to diversify, but also tap into the different scenes with different collaborations. And we've got Tucked Automotive, we've got the Max Power reunion, we've got our Bar Festival, but our Bar Festival never existed before. It's a new show for that community. Brilliant. Sold out 400 cars in a month, and they've never had 400 R-Baths in the same place before. So I know what you're saying, but DMO's put out D-Max, and he's selling tickets. And I've messaged him personally and said, congratulations. I dropped Petrolheadonism live with Richard Rawlins coming over from Gas Monkey.
Yeah, I saw that.
The same day he dropped Silverstone, and I messaged DMO, congratulations, well done. There's so many people out there, so many different car scenes, and everyone wants to get out this year.
Yeah, no, DMO's killing it, absolutely killing it. I know he's got Silverstone. We're doing the pod on the 30th of May. There's, he's got a really good community of followers. He's got a great channel. He's got a great attitude. He's positive, and I think people like that are the ones that are going to drive the scene forward, because I think those that just want the cash, I think it will be a short-term thing. I think DMO can really take it forward and just continue to build it. I mean, hats off to the guy. I think he's absolutely smashing it.
Do you think that the scene is changing, though? So basically, let's go back 10, 15 years. You had a small group of car guys that, read the Max Power magazines, and they aspired to be like their mate they grew up with. Nowadays, you've got social media that basically you could be a banker from Portsmouth, never have ever bought an M3 on roads, forms and bags, and you can just go, I'm going to spend 20 grand with Dave Angel's garage, and we're going to go to a car show. Like, it's a different scene. It doesn't feel like the heart and soul car builders and drivers and like enthusiasts like us, are the scene anymore. It seems like there's a different kind of following,
I agree completely. I think you've got an element of the scene where it is very money driven, where you've got people that do have lots of money and they can afford to go and buy very, very, very nice cars. So if you've got if you've got a Veyron, and you've got an Instagram that's your Veyron handle, you're going to get followers because people are interested in that car. I mean, like, who's not interested in a Bugatti Veyron? Put your hands up.
Exactly.
No hands are up, because they're incredible, incredible cars. So I think
at the same time they love the lifestyle that goes with it, and that's
they
what they're tuning into.
They do. I think it's just you've now got the categories of people where you've got the people that are in a privileged position to be able to go and do that. Would we go and buy a Veyron if we had loads of money? Do you know what I mean? If we had loads of money, why not? Like, who doesn't want a Veyron? Mm-hmm. Would we do exactly the same? We probably would, but we are still passionate about the scene. So I think it's tough to say that they're not as passionate as us because they've got a Veyron, but I do agree with what you're saying. It's kind of like they can be a big part of the scene because they own the car, but then at the end of the day, the car, like you say, the car will always be the star as opposed to the person behind it, unless they've got a real character that they can translate to another different type of car. So would they have the same? Would they have the same following in a Ford Mexico? Possibly. Would they have the same following in a Citroen Saxo? I'm not knocking Saxos. I'm just exampling.
Whoa.
Easy. Would they have the same following? Possibly not. But obviously they're in a privileged position. If any three of us were offered a Veyron keys for a day, for a year, for a lifetime, would you take it? Damn right. I'll have a Veyron all day.
Richie, if you had all that money, then you'd have the money to charisma that Veyron too and make it your own.
Hell yeah, you would.
Yeah. Very true. That's a very, very valid point.
I'll bring 15 litres of filler, all right?
So
He's on it.
throughout lockdown, you've been entertaining, and the energy levels of your DJing has not changed, but you've been doing it from home. Firstly, how was that for you, like helping you out personally, like mental health, just keeping you busy and stuff like that, but also the interactivity with the fans?
Right. Firstly, mental health, without a doubt, an absolute saviour. I now have got a really great network with a lot of incredible DJs that, funnily enough, I didn't have I knew loads of jocks before lockdown. Like anything, if you do something long enough, you should know loads of people within that field. So I knew loads and loads of jocks, but we would talk, but not really in the same way that we talk now. So last night we did an off-the-cuff equivalent of a Zoom call, but I was talking to these literally 4 of the biggest, what I would say the biggest Twitch superstar DJs. So Twitch, very much like YouTube, you can live stream, obviously without boring everyone. Facebook's a tough one. They just keep locking you off. Instagram is a no-go, same people. YouTube, you can live stream, but you can't watch the shows back. Twitch, you can live stream, and because Amazon own Twitch, you kind of get left alone, and your show can be up there for another week. So a lot of jocks, worldwide superstars. I mean, we're talking the Jazzy Jeffs, like there's the Scratch Bastards, like the real premier, the top of the premier division, the Cuberts, or the legend in the scratching scene. All of these people are just jamming on Twitch because for them they need that creative release. So what has it done for me mentally? Probably kept me sane. Probably maintained my marriage. To be fair, without streaming, it would have been a tough one. Being locked up for a year when you're so used to going out every weekend and working, and that's really pretty much all and then to be told, every single club is closed through no fault of your own, it was a real switcher. I mean, the same with your good self, with the shows, with the hotel, with the driving. When everything is restricted, you just literally sit there and go, I wasn't really expecting that one. I really wasn't expecting that. And you've just got to work out, how are you going to get your head round it? So I was quite fortunate. I'd set the majority of the studio up pre-lockdown. So when lockdown occurred and everyone's scrambling around for webcams, I was quite lucky that on the, pretty much the Monday of lockdown, on that Friday night, I was streaming and ready to go. So it was good. Interaction-wise, it's completely different. I think you're hitting a different market. Yes, there's loads of car show bods. There's loads of club bods that I would see in the clubs, and they come on board and say hello, and it's absolutely lovely. But it's also about connecting with new people that are maybe looking for something similar that you're providing. So if, and again, going back to the Twitch conversation last night with the guys there, I was talking to DJs that, they play to 40, 50, 60-year-olds that just say, we love music, but we just don't go clubbing anymore. And what you're doing is you're giving us that fix of music that we just wouldn't normally get. And I think that is a fantastic thing, because when the clubs reopen, yes, we'll see it. We'll be able to hug each other in person. That's a beautiful thing. But there's still quite a large element of people that aren't going out, or they're not ready to go out, or their mums and dads. They've got real big commitments. They're not able to go out. So now to be able to kind of diversify to that area is a great thing. So it's kept me sane, and the interaction has been good because, mixing on your own at home, I don't really do a lot of mixing on my own as such. I will endeavour to try and go live, because I think with the pressure of going live, you always will endeavour to do your very best. When you're at home, you can kind of go, oh, that'll do. And you stop. When you're live, if you've committed to an hour, I've done 6 hours before, you are really in it, and and people will be there for the whole journey. And in that respect, the community is online, but it's a great community. So yeah, I think it's been a fantastic opportunity for DJs and other industries to kind of diversify if they are able to, if they're happy enough to do so, confident or able to. But there are a lot of jocks that there are a load of jocks that are now driving for Amazon and delivering, which again is fine. If that's what you need to do to put bread on the table and get through the year, that's what you have to do. I'd have shoveled anything, to make sure I could, keep the wolves from the door. And that's really where it got to. It did get tough, but we're starting to now come out the other side. So hallelujah, praise the Lord, and all that good stuff. The light is at the end of the tunnel. So I think that when everything opens back up, it's going to be incredible. But I will probably continue to stream, because I think there is a element of that that is completely different that I never really pursued as much, and it's an area that I'm definitely gonna carry on with. What about you guys? I mean, how have you found the last year?
So, well, the hotel being locked down has changed my life. If it weren't for COVID, I would have been like full pelt, like busy every day, and just been living what I've been living 14 years. But it stopped me dead and made me reevaluate everything. And that's why we've made the decision we've made with regards to the hotel. It's on the market,
Which must have been hard. Must have been very hard.
Very, very hard. But I can't see myself committing 80 hours a week and the constant, 24 hours to that sort of thing. But it made me realize that Petrolheadonism is a strong brand and got a great following. I found out that my real world relationships, and Sam has been a witness to this over the last 6 months, are so much stronger than my social media ones. And I've got a great social media one as well. But it's the relationships you build. I kept doing some of the lives during lockdown one with some cars in the background and stuff like that, hooked up with people all over the world and kept things going. And for me, it's just shown me a different way of life now. So there's a lot of negatives, but a huge amount of positives, and coming out of it really positive. I've done 8,000 miles working in the last 4 months of lockdown. You know what I mean?
I've kept up with the diary, and I've been thinking, how does he do that? He's definitely racking up their miles. How does he do it? His fuel card must be absolutely warped. No, credit where credit's due.
Blew up on Saturday.
What's that? Sorry?
I blew it up on Saturday.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
The Porsche it blew up.
Oh, do you know what? I did see that. It broke down, didn't it? I did see. I did see that.
Yeah, actually blew the inlet manifold and broke the chain. So it's going to be rebuilt, forged and polished. So it's going to be back better and faster.
Every cloud has a silver lining, doesn't it?
Yeah, always.
To sort of touch on what Chiro said, like you mentioned, like the miles you do, Chiro. Like I don't think people really grasp just how hard you work, because there's people I speak to every day. I mean, I work from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. That's fine, but even tonight is a Wednesday. It's a mid-Wednesday night. You phone Chiro 10 minutes before a show. Where you at? Well, I've just been in a board meeting. We've been doing this. We've been doing that. This guy here grasps more than any other man I've ever met in my life, and fair play to him. And a couple of things like this weekend, the Cannon Run, being there with Sky TV and everything, and filming was just an experience. If anyone ever has the opportunity or the money to do it, please do it. But for Chiro to bring his daughter along, like, wow, such a lovely human being, been grafted well by her family. But it was amazing to see Chiro such a human and such, a human being, like bringing his daughter along, trusting the people that he sees as family around him. It was amazing. And me and Chiro, we met at SEMA last year. What was it, last year?
Yeah,
year
4 years ago now, mate. Forget last year didn't happen.
Flying away. And my business has changed. I'm a car builder. I'm a car modifier, restorer. I've been building cars my whole life. And I've gone into buying and selling cars. And I opened my business on the 1st September. And if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be on council benefits, like basically getting by. So I'd been buggered. My business got quieter. People were worried about money. They weren't building stuff. They weren't buying crazy stuff anymore. And, buying and selling the run-of-the-mill stuff is basically made me, and I can't complain about it, because I'm still managing to buy the weird and wonderful shit and sell it and have some cool stuff and hang out with Chiro because of that factor. So, for some people it's killed them and some people it's made them, but I feel like I'm in the middle ground,
Yeah. I think you just have to take every opportunity that you're presented with, don't you, and just really try to work out how can I make this a benefit as opposed to the decimation that it's been for so many people. It's 100%. Really, and I won't go into horror stories. I've lost some good friends because of this, and it really brings home how hard this is currently. And just going back to the kids thing, during lockdown had another little one, so I've now got 2 beautiful girls.
Well, yeah.
So that's obviously kept me pretty busy as well. And with just on that element alone, before, when I had my firstborn, Harmony, bless her, we would be out and about all the time. She is the most confident, happy-go-lucky, 3 and 3/4-year-old, that is out there. Every parent says that, but she really is confident. And then on, our version 2, the remix, Havana, she is 8 months old, and because of the situation, has hardly been out of the house at all. I mean, obviously we take her for walks, we do what we can within the limitations, but for our own safety as well as the family and and our parents and our loved ones, we had to limit exactly what we did. So then, when we would have family down that were in our bubble, she wasn't as outgoing as Harmony. She was, you could see a bit of not too sure in her eyes. And I think that talking to 4 of my friends have had kids during lockdown, and I've been talk to them on the regular, and I'm like, how you finding it? And they're like, yeah, like my mother-in-law came round and the little one just started crying. And you just think, the knock-on effects are they're just going to last for a long time. I mean, obviously the kids, they'll bounce out of it. That I'm absolutely sure of. As soon as we can all socialise without a care in the world, it will all be a distant memory. But there are other aspects, the hospital backlist. I don't want to sound like a politician. It's just you forget how big this is and how hard it is for nigh on everyone. It's tough. Anyway,
I think everybody gets caught up in their own situation, and they don't realise some of the bigger situations, like you just mentioned, the hospitalists, the cancer patients, just everything, the biggest scenario. And there's going to be a lot of businesses that, the startup grants, we just got one, which is thankful to Bedford Borough Council, we got one, but even that doesn't touch the sides. Came in one day, and the next day you're paying it out to the HMRC, PAYE, and the VAT going out because you haven't paid that last month, sort of thing. So it's gonna continue rolling, and we're gonna have this effect for about 2-3 years. I truly hope the kids bounce back from it. Honestly, like we've seen our daughters go from independent, strong-minded, happy-go-lucky, like confident girls to like just being sat in their room with nothing to do all day, speaking to their friends on their phones. And you can't say, you've had too much screen time, because that's their only interaction with the outside world.
Of course.
But you don't want them to have that addiction with that mobile phone, do you? You want them to like be outside playing on trampoline.
Exactly.
Going and see their friends. So,
you would rather them be doing that, but when you're told you're not allowed to go and do that, then what choice, as a dad, what choice do you have? You've got to go, well, do you know what? I'd rather, and I'm same as you. I'm not a fan of screen time. There's a lot more to life. We will do. We had a really good time. We did a lot of stuff. We're quite fortunate. We've got a big patio. We've got a decent garden. We are very, very, very lucky. So, we literally did a smash and grab at Argos. Got the swings, got the slides, got the trampolines. We made it as good as it could be to keep them occupied, keep them fit, keep them happy, and I'd like to think that we've just about got over got to the finish line where the kids aren't they're not too bad. But I feel my heart genuinely bleeds for people that do not have the opportunity to do that, where they cannot leave the house or they haven't got an outdoor space. You've got to think of them people, and I think that's heartbreaking, because the kids, the schools were shut, the students still haven't gone back to uni. Like, come on, it's
the only
crazy.
positive,
and that was a real difference between lockdown 1 and lockdown 3. Because lockdown 1, it was so sunny, the girls were out trampoline. We were lucky as well, got loads of outdoor space and stuff, and they all had their own bedrooms, so we were really kind. And at that time, I was thinking about the people that live in like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment that can't leave to go outside except for like a little walk, and they've got no outside play area or anything. Absolutely, like, heart bled for them. But lockdown 3, you're locked inside, you can't go anywhere. It's dark and dingy and wet and cold, like literally just inside, and it got bad.
Yeah, agreed. What about you, Sam? How did you get on?
I mean, how many people though, look at the other flip coin, like have spent time with their dads in this generation? Because if you think 90% of dads go out to work every day, so if you just think about the amount of parents that have been stuck at home with their kids, like when I grew up, my dad wasn't around as much as I'd love him to be because he was always out earning money. I think through the first lockdown, I was there nearly the whole time. The third lockdown was completely different. I wasn't around as much, but at least I've had that time with my kids that this lockdown has actually given me. But honestly, I live 10 feet from a block of flats that are 1-bedroom studio flats, and oh my God, imagine being stuck in there. Like, oh my God.
No,
Yeah, well,
I think you're right.
lockdown-
I was going to say, it's just quickly, the same thing with the dad scenario. It's been a year from hell, but it's also probably been one of, funnily enough, the best years of my life. You know, I've got to witness my family turn from 3 to 4, you know, and I've been there and seen the developments that, you know, you say I probably wouldn't have seen. So in that respect, it's been an incredible opportunity to watch them develop and also input much more than I would have been. Say, like you say, you would be out and about, and you would be working. That's, you know, a bit old school, but that's what geezers do. That's what blokes do. They provide. They make sure their family is safe and secure. So you would be out a lot, but now you haven't got the opportunity. So and the thing, you know, you make an event out of anything. You know what I mean? Whether I've been building planters and we've been going out planting stuff, just silly things that, do you know what? I probably never would have done it. Well, I would have got round to it eventually, but it would have been at the bottom of the list. But with COVID, it just made your priorities switch. I found, you know, you realise that family time is actually the greatest gift of all, and you really focus on that, you know. So I think you're right. It's given us all opportunities to,
guys,
you know, hopefully bond.
I rediscovered my role as a father in this household. That's the main thing that came out of COVID for me.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that is a massive positive. That is a massive positive. I mean, come on.
Thanks, hero.
DJ Richie Don in the house.
That's it. So yeah, on a positive, you know, on a positive, it's been a terrible year, but I think we've all, to be fair, you know, judging, but we've all made it work to the best that we could. And at the end of the day, you know, when your time is up, did you do the best you can? All you can do is say yeah. And as long as you did, I think that's, you know, that's all that matters. So we'll look back on these times and we'll be like, my God, I'm glad they're over. But I think if you invested your time in the right place, that's not a bad thing, I don't think.
It's amazing.
No, absolutely. I'm sure we'll talk about this again personally when we see each other.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll be chewing the high legs
of
off
a coming on. I'm looking forward to the reunion at Toaster.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. My inbox has been popping about that one. So, you know, and I mean, I've known Jamie for years. We talk on the regular, you know, and his cars are incredible, and all, you know, I've sat in all of them. I've driven the white Porsche around a track in Killarney in South Africa when we did a Max Power show over there. I mean, you know, I've known these guys for years. So to see a lot of them is going to be great. I mean, we're all going to look at each other and go, God, I'd like to say the years have been kind. You know what I mean? We're all going to look like a load of old pensioners. But, you know, I think the vibe will come alive, and it'll be great that we all get to spend that time together. I mean, that's what me and Jim were talking about. I was just saying, look, it'd just be nice to have a catch up. Last time I saw him was my daughter's first birthday. So, yeah, we're going back 2 years. So, yeah,
Wicked.
insane. Yeah,
we're going Toaster, we're going bigger, and we're going for longer, and they're happy to keep the bars open till later. So it's going to be a proper party.
That is what
I'm
I
in.
like to hear.
I'm in.
Yeah, we're in. We're at the front of the bar without a doubt.
Richie, we've got our next guest waiting in the lobby, mate.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you in person sooner rather than later. All right, God bless. Take care. Thank you very much.
You've
Cheers.
been awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye.
Love it. It's like our guests are so diverse, but all come together with cars, and he's
amazing.
Richie Don, the DJ.
I don't think like the setup and the guy and his video, like just his, like I'm watching the video now, mate. It's amazing. Like just to sort of chat to someone like that he's a car guy, he's a DJ. He's just cool, man. Like you seem to always pull these amazing little carrots out the bag, my friend.
I know, but I'm thinking my oldie worldy like car case cabinets here need to go, and I need to get some screens up with like my car shows and stuff on it.
I want to put TVs behind me and be as cool as that guy.
I love it. I just tune in sometimes and he's bouncing around doing his thing. He's absolutely amazing. So Michelle Faro, you make us all so proud, RD Richie Don. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, he's absolutely awesome. His energy, amazing. Producer Craig, is our next guest ready to come in? Tell us about our next guest.
Next guest will blow your mind. He will blow your mind. He is the coolest chap. His voice, right? his voice. I'm going to get you to tell him. I'm going to get him to tell you the phrase of what he says I am, whose love child I am. Right? His voice is like. I mean, if you could choose a voice for your wedding, your funeral, your birth, and your cremation, this is the man you want to announce everything. On my phone, I wish I had like, it is 4:44. My name's Rob Pitts. How you doing, everybody? Like, he's just a cool ass motherfucker. I'm going out there. There you go.
Well, producer Craig, if you can hear us, we're ready for our guest.
Yeah, he's not in yet.
Okay.
Give him a chase, Sam.
No, I'm
Yeah,
on
we
it.
can
2
get
seconds,
Craig
guys.
and
Chiro,
go through
take
some
the
of them.
mic, and I'll see if I can
Yeah,
find Rob
that's
Pitts.
cool. So Mike Valentine, Max Power, epic throwback, great times. Got people watching, and thank you. Right, so while Sam's just contacting our next guest, you can see on the VT we've just had DJ Richie Don on the show. What a guy! He was at the hotel in November for the Cream Developments Supercar Sunday, where we were filming for their TV show, which was on BBC Three. And DJ Richie, he absolutely smashed the set. So just give you a big update while Sam's speaking there. Petrolheadonism Live, Nebworth, 2 days in September. We've got Richard Rawlins, the Gas Monkey, with Big Chris coming over for the event. We're talking hypercar lawn, we're talking supercars, we're talking clubs, we've got Americana, we've got classics, we've got highly modified. It's all happening. We've got bikes as well. We've already had over 250 show cars book in, and more than that in terms of spectators. It's going to be a mammoth event. Petrolheadonism Live at Nebworth. We've got events happening throughout the summer, and we've got clubs booking in, etc. We've got Supercars and Caffeine 3rd of May at the Sharnbrook Hotel. That's going to come on live soon. We're just waiting for some confirmation on what we're allowed and what we can't do, but to ensure everybody's safe as we reopen up out of a lockdown. Nicholas Bowden, nice to hear how you all got through lockdown. I finished my restoration during it. Looking forward to coming to some shows this year. Nicholas, yes, absolutely that. Well done. Got so many friends that have been doing builds or doing that, finishing that car they've been meaning to finish for a little while. So, well, congratulations on that. And we look forward to seeing some shows. Go to Petrolheadonism.Club.
He's
a list there of all the different events. Hey?
He's on his way. Carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, sorry.
He's
so
en
I was
route.
just saying about the events and shows. Right, Cannon Run, the weekend. Thursday night was at Brooklands Hotel. Brooklands Hotel, right? They know we're filming.
Yep.
We're in the car park having drinks in the car park. Someone's got a little Bluetooth speaker. Everybody's having a chat, social distance, all behaved. It's amazing. It was a snippet of normality. But what blew me away was in the morning, went down, breakfast is in the restaurant. Walk in the restaurant, little mask on, get shown to a table with my daughter. Full English,
Really?
sir? Yes, please. 2 full English breakfasts served, orange juice, coffees. What? It's normal life. Everybody, all the tables around us are full. Unbelievable.
That's ridiculous.
Next day,
But
we end up
awesome,
at
right?
the day in Winchester. Dodgems. We've got outside bar. We've got barbecue, chicken, DJs. Dodgems. Did I say Dodgems already? And it's
You
like,
said
what
Dodgems,
the
yeah.
hell's going on here? But the whole it was unbelievable. And then in the morning, a breakfast buffet with 3 chefs. Would you like sausages, hash browns, bacon, eggs? Da-da-da. What? Unbelievable, mate. And it was just like
absolutely nuts.
2019. Just like 2019.
Mate. And you know what? What an event, man. That guy, not only his charisma, his attire, I mean, that coat he wears is mind-blowing. Like, he just got a presence about him that just drags you in, man. You know, and the event, it's classy, it's well-kept, it's pristine, and it's just fun to be at, man. It's overwhelming being there. It's amazing.
I love Jay Cannon. I love Jay Cannon. He's one of those characters that can rub people up the wrong way and everything. But if you know him personally, he is a lovely, genuine, loyal guy. And he put on a good show, puts on a good event. He's got a great team around him and they know what they're doing. I'm talking to him about collaborating. We're doing stuff together. They're going to be at the Max Power show now because we're going Toaster. Cannon Run have got a stand as well. doing their thing.
Amazing.
So yeah, no, it's all good, mate. Who else? We've got Paul Brown watching. Paul Brown's drag racing at Santa Pod, unveiled his car the other week. Would love to see that
Amazing.
passion come back. And I agree, the scene is just not the same anymore from Sammy Joe. So I don't know. I wasn't into the Max Power as in going to those events. I guess I was at uni those years, and I'd like had my VWB tour. I was into like Bug Jam and stuff. But I know of the Max Power era, and I'm just looking forward to experiencing it and enjoying it in September.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but I've got your man waiting.
Okay, bring him in.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Wait
him
for
in.
this voice, man. Wait for the voice.
Producer,
see
we're
a
still
chair.
seeing Richie Don VT. We've still got Richie Don VT. We can't see the guest. Can you hear me,
What's
Craig?
up, Rob?
We've got Richie Don VT.
What's going on?
I told
How you
you.
doing, man?
What, running around like a madman?
How's it going, Rob? How's it going, man?
Just running like usual. How's the world treating you?
Producer, we've got the video from Richie Don still running in the background.
It's all
We can
good,
cut
man.
that out. No worries, thank you. But Rob, man, you know, I was just explaining to Chiro how your YouTube has grown. I mean, we met each other at SEMA. We collaborated on VimWiki. We done stuff with Ed Bowley, and your channel's just gone skyrocket, man. You know, Chiro, this guy tells car stories. You know, and one of them was dedicated to Brands Hatch Speed Fest, which you'd think he'd be talking about the cars and the event, and it kind of got taken over by the hard up garage party, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think we got more talking about old Sam than anything.
What happened at this party?
I want to. I think I'll let Sam tell you because I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
No, Rob, tell it all. Tell it all here and now.
Okay,
Tell it all.
I'm going to tell you something. I got between him and Carl, I got the world's fastest tour of London. Like, I got 5 days worth of touring done in about an hour. Like, we're riding around in a convertible and they're pointing, that's this, that's that. We need fish and chips. You got to have this. And so I got the crash course of that. But then we went out that night. I don't know, it gets a little fuzzy there a few times, but we had fun. I remember it was a good night.
we nearly got arrested. Within 15 minutes of having Rob in the car, we nearly got arrested.
You ever thought it was funny how that works when me and you get together? The authorities are always kind of involved somewhere.
Chiro is going to be, I hope Chiro is like a virgin, okay? Because we're going to ruin that guy.
Mate, I've had the feds all over me the last 6 months. They're constantly at my shows, at my events, or following me. So it's cool. But I have that. Yeah, I don't know. But so we're going to go over to the US hopefully in November for the SEMA and like make some stop offs. Are you in Texas?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. Wow.
It's my fault. I thought it was Greenville, Texas. I'm sorry. But yeah, South Carolina. It's close to Ed. He's like an hour out from Ed.
This is why I bought this right here. Hang on, Sam. I bought this just for you. It's called a globe. So we start here, but I'm over here.
I'm sorry.
I love it. I love it.
An American that's teaching you geography.
I'm telling you. Well, Sam will call me up and he goes, "Hey, how far are you away from New Mexico?" Well, I'm not going to drive there in a day, but
no, exactly.
I don't think I want to meet you for lunch. But no, we
you do. You just don't want to put the hours in.
You know what? I guess I can't put enough heart in. I guess the heart.
Rob, tell Chiro. So Chiro here is putting on one of the biggest shows in Europe in September. It's going to call Petrolheadonism Live, and our buddy Richard Rawlins is going to be there. And Rob Pitts on his video says I was a love child of somebody. You got to tell Chiro this story.
Yeah. So when everybody asks, when they ask about my buddy Sam Hart, and I said the best way to describe him out, it looks like Richard Rawlins and Mrs. Doubtfire had a baby. Because he does. He looks like he's got that look. You know, you got that. You need a little more gray in there, Sam. Just a little bit.
He's got it. He's got it now. It's coming.
Working.
Yeah, look at you. You look like the baby Richard, but you know, you got, you know, I love it. I love it. I may start calling you Dick Jr.
I'm gonna get that and morph it on Photoshop. So I'm gonna have Richard, Mrs. Doubtfire, and you in the middle, morphing into you.
You know what?
Do
that
it.
epic video, those two morphing together, and then goes, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Petrolheadonism Live.
Oh. Everybody's mind will go.
Right, Rob, tell Chiro and the world where the hell your YouTube channel has gone, because you built your own studio. You're over like 100,000 subscribers. I mean, on VinWiki, I've got quite like a few million views. You got millions of views on VinWiki, but your own channel is skyrocketing. Just tell Chiro and the world about what you're doing and how that's moving forward.
So, you know, 3 years ago, I didn't know anything about YouTube, nothing at all. And, you know, got the radio show, and from Sam on a few times, Hot Rods and Happy Hour Radio. And we had a great time with it. I interviewed this one guy, Mr. Ed Bolian. And he goes, hey, I got a little project I'm working on down in Atlanta. Atlanta's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So we went down there and we filmed for his YouTube channel. And 60 million views later, we launched this channel, Ravage Used Cars. And it's a little more in depth. You know, we do flips and we got some good stories in there. And we have a little fun with it. We're kind of like VinWiki's unruly cousin.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of fun with it, and I enjoy it. I mean, that's been 16 months. We've hit 100,000 subs on this channel, so that's phenomenal growth. Actually, just crossed our 8 millionth view on this channel.
Wow,
so
it's amazing.
Good.
And I love it. We film every week, and it's like we laugh, cut up. It takes 2 hours to shoot 2 10-minute videos because we're laughing nonstop doing them. We have a blast with it. You know, of course, I got my camera guy, Matt, and it was so funny. I was out of town buying cars and we needed to shoot a response video. So Matt said, hell, I'll take it. So he just jumps in the chair in front of the camera and does it. And somebody commented, who put their douchebag camera guy there? So now he's Matt, the douchebag camera guy. And it's stuck. We were at an event in Tennessee about a month ago, and we're walking around, and you know, Matt's, and you know, we're all kind of like got the whole little vendetta walking around, all of us. We're like a little gang. We're walking around, and somebody walks up, douchebag. You know, so it's stuck. You know, I guess they could call them worse things.
I mean, Rob for me is like my brother from another mother. You know, we're walking through SEMA, and there's Richard, hi, there's Dave Kindy, but then you just hear that Sam Hart come over the tannoy. You look over, and Rob Pitts has stood there with like 4 or 5 of the most famous people you've ever dreamed of meeting, and he is just talking shit. And honestly, that's SEMA, right?
That's it. It's the name of the game. And I mean, Sam, you said I'd talk shit, something like that. I'd never do anything like that.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. We only talk kerfuddle and nonsense over here in the United Kingdom.
What do you guys call that? Rubbish. That's rubbish.
Rubbish,
Absolute
trash.
rubbish,
That's
yeah.
rubbish.
But, you know, we're going to have to go to Rob Pitts' place when we do, because
Absolutely.
me and Chiro are going to be doing a live stream at SEMA. We're going to be there 4 days. And we're going to be basically a lot of states in America leading up to SEMA. And I want to make sure that we're there with you, Rob, because, you know, you've been there since the start. We've both been, you know, talking shit and faking it till we make it. And we're making it, you know?
Well, and then the thing is, I've met so many great people in the car hobby. but by far, I mention your name twice a week, every week, because everybody wants to know who Sam Hardy is. Tell me about Sam. Is he really like that? And I said, I love him. Sam is the man. It's just like when you called the other day, Sam. I'm riding with Matt, the camera guy. And I know, like I said, I always know it's a call from Sam because it's got 37 digits in the phone number. And, and, you know, there's like a star in there and a 9. I don't know what he's calling from, a damn coconut or something. But anyway, and I answered it through my truck and I just pushed the button. And he goes, "What are you doing, you legend?" Instantly, you can't help but smile talking to Sam. Sam could call me up and say he just backed over my cat with a car, and I'd still be smiling because it's coming from Sam. You tell me to go to hell, and I'd say thank you. You know, just love.
I've got a question for you, Rob. Sorry about this, Chiro. I'm not involving you very much here, but there's a couple of questions.
I'm happy. I'm meeting Rob. It's cool. I'm meeting Rob, and I'm looking forward to going out to the US to meet him properly. But go on.
I want to get this on film here and now for the world to see. I want to know in South Carolina how there are so many pleasant-looking females. Okay, because there is a knack to every one of Rob Pitts's videos. There's always a stunning-looking, lovely lady in every video, but I don't see how that can be that many attractive ladies in such a small place. Because
you know what, it's a hard job rounding them up. It really is. Funneling them into the rabbit's used cars. Yeah, so I've already been called the Hugh Hefner of used cars. But you know what, though? I mean, and not to be crass, not to be crude, but you know, sex always sells, you know, and I used to joke around all the time because we used models to put in the sell ads for cars. And I would joke around, there'd be a model standing there and be like, "We're not selling Girl Scout cookies, honey. You know, let's show a little more leg, you know, let's get them looking." And the thing that's crazy though is when we post ads, how many times they get viewed. Not necessarily buyers, but how many times they get viewed. It's like if somebody posted an ad, they got viewed 800 times. I posted an ad at the same time, they got viewed 8,000 times. And I'm like, well, I mean,
wow.
And like I said, they're not all necessarily buyers, but we're hoping they share it and somebody that might be interested in buying will see it, is the key.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not all about you know, some people say in the UK lately that, you know, the dog, the wolf whistling and all this kind of stuff to females is crass or whatever. But I find that a lot of these lovely ladies, they have this amazing asset, which they are stunning, they're a well-kept, beautiful lady, very intelligent, and they're working very hard, and this is how they earn their money, and they're very proud of their profession. So I don't see it as being like a lower class to me because she's, you know, a model or whatever. These are very, very skilled females that work very hard and, you know, earn money.
You know, I'll be honest with you. You see this is as good as it gets for me. These girls, you know, can be walking, laughing, cutting up and be all serious and saying just got the post. There's a skill set to this. Everybody's got their knack. Modeling for me, not so much. Sam, you do kind of got that. You got that pretty hair and all that stuff. So you probably hello.
Rob, give him 30 years. He'll look like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, then he's gonna look more like his mother. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna try and say that I'm gonna be wearing, you know, like in Mrs. Doubtfire, where he's got the big bodysuit on and the skin's falling off. I'm gonna have like the Richard Rollins hair, the pretty chiseled eyebrows, and then some old lady's face down here, right?
I love it.
Let's morph that together.
But
so, tell me about the scene where you're at, Rob. Like car scene, you guys have car events, shows that you go to. Do you host your own at your place?
Well, the corona slowed things down a little bit here, but it's starting to pick back up now. Obviously, everything's getting kind of back to normal. This is car country, and this is what I tell everyone. This whole southeast little stretch, and we're right in the buckle of car country. Everybody has got a hot rod in their backyard or working on something, and then we have 10 shows every Saturday, every week between March and September here. And I mean, this is, matter of fact, when I get done with this, I'm jumping in the truck and I'm headed to a car show when I leave here.
Wow.
I mean, so they're every week.
That's phenomenal. That's a place to be. Why that in South Carolina though? What is it about?
I think the weather has a lot to do with it. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's very mild year round. I mean, we get a winter, but it's not very much for winter. It just gets chilly out. And plus that gives everybody time to get your cars ready. And so we got about 2 or 3 months where it's a little bit of an off season. And we still have cars and coffee and things like that still year round. And caffeine and hot take in Atlanta, things like that. But I think just because of the weather in the area, it's kind of mild. And I don't know, there's something about the South and cars that have always been hand in hand. We got to think about this is the birthplace of NASCAR. You got so much racing history in this area. I think that really, really bleeds over into it also.
You've sold me because I know my wife watches a show which is based in South Carolina on Netflix, I think, or Amazon, and she'd love to move to South Carolina or visit. And I'm thinking now I want to go to the car shows.
Well, I've lived here my entire life. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to a lot of beautiful places, but there's no place like home. Like this is still home to me. You know what I mean? It's just kind of what you get used to. You know, speaking of the Netflix, I don't want to be too much of a spoiler, but you may see your buddy Rabbit on Netflix here really, really soon.
There you have it.
So that will be the only thing in South Carolina that's on Netflix.
Yes. Well, she'll watch it with me if it's in South Carolina. So that's a good thing. We'll watch it together. When's that happening?
We actually start filming in July. So it's gonna be a fun show. It's a fun twist on the same old, but we're having a lot of fun with it. I think it's gonna really do well. And I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. It's gonna be a fun summer.
See, Chiro, we're gonna have to jump on the bandwagon, man. We're gonna have to be 2 Brits in like a little Austin Mini, Mr. Bean Mini, and we have to send it over there and drive to SEMA in a Mini, right? And we're gonna turn up at Rob Pitts. He'd be like, "Move that piece of shit, motherfucker."
Horrible.
He's gonna back over me like it did his cat.
Oh, horrible.
Cool, man.
But
wow. So
no worries,
you're going
man.
to a car show now. Is it what's the car show? What's the theme? Or is it just
So this show I'm going to, they call it Rod Run. And basically it's anything and everything you want to bring. It's a huge open car show. So 90 Chevrolet trucks, 80 Chevrolet trucks, 70s C10s, 50s, 60s, 55 Chevrolets, 5, 6, 7 Chevrolets, whatever, street rods, anything and everything. Big lifted trucks.
wow,
Anything you
sounds like
think of.
Americana heaven, man.
About 10,000 cars.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 days of it.
It's crazy.
So Travis Bell, you know who Travis is.
Yeah.
I know Travis, yeah. I don't know, sure.
So me and Travis are doing a show there, a show inside the show. We're doing the Rod Run after party Friday and Saturday night up in Tennessee at this show. So we're going out, playing the tunes, keeping the crowd pumped up. You know how we do, Sam.
I know how you
we're having
do.
a lot of fun with it. It's going to be phenomenal.
If it's someone I know how to party, he parties like a rock star, man.
I learned from you. I learned from you.
Wicked.
Or if that guy still laying on
then
the
we get
sidewalk.
Yeah,
You
then
know
we
what,
get up
Sam?
and do it all again.
Exactly. Sam, you know, I was thinking about our trip. Remember the guy that was laying on the sidewalk we kept stepping over? I wonder if he's still there.
Right. So this crazy thing happened where we had this big penthouse suite that we got. And there was this guy who was basically falling asleep over the threshold, right? So every time you went into the apartment, you had to step over this drunk guy. And like it was like 2 days. So we got there at like 6 in the morning and he was there. We got there at 7 at night, he was there. We got there at 4 in the morning, he was there. He was like a part of
If
the
it wasn't for the fact that you could tell like his chest was going in and out, like he was breathing, I'm like, we may need to call somebody, Sam. I'm just saying.
Well, we're in England, my friend. We're not in Atlanta. It's not that chilly. He should live.
He should live.
But
We brought
no,
Wicked. Absolutely.
you know.
What an evening.
that's it, man. But Rob, we're gonna come and see you. Somehow we'll either see you at SEMA or we'll come down to your shop and see you. Whatever we do, as soon as we get some dates lined up. But it was amazing to have you on, man. I love you loads, man. I'm so proud of you. And just keep being awesome every day, you legend.
You do the same, you legend. Love you guys. Y'all take care.
Thank you, man. Nice to meet you, Rob. And we'll see you South Carolina or SEMA, man. Thank you.
I love it. You guys take care. You all stay safe. All
I don't know
right.
if it's my. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers,
Wow.
bud.
What an evening. We've gone from DJ Richie Don to South Carolina to Rob Pitts. What a man.
His voice, man, is just, even now, look, the hairs on my arms are stood up. It's just, his voice is so amazing. I love it. You know, he's a cool guy, man. And he's a car guy through and through. Like, you cut him open, he bleeds like gearbox fluid. You know, he's just a cool guy, man.
I'm going to go check out his YouTube now, but I've got loads of work to do as well. So I'm going to have that on the background, get some work done, and I feel shattered now. Don't know, it's been a long day.
Man.
But mate, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Everybody who's been watching, thank you for tuning in. Every Wednesday night, we're here at 9 o'clock, and we'll get some guests lined up for next week and just pull out some more characters from the scene.
Oh, one more thing. Here, live now, I'm dropping my video in the next 10 minutes, guys. Episode 11 of the NAS Charger build. It's the finalization of 2 episodes. 11 is now. 12 is going to be on the drop of next week as well.
Cool.
Next week, I'm going to drop it at the start of the show, but this is the one of the final episodes. So, guys, please get on there, like it, share it. Then while you're on YouTube, go over to Petrolheadonism and follow it and like it. And just enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it.
Cool. I'm going to watch that. Cheers. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Thank you, producer Greg. Drop that VT. Roll it. Take care, mate.
Roll the VT.
It's the same power to weight ratio as a Ferrari 488.
Where's mine?
Is Chiro Champion signing off. You've been tuned in to